Welcome back to Channel 1 Alternate News. You're here with Mick and Joff. Today, Joff, we're going to get into some hard-hitting stuff. We're going to kick it off with the meaning behind conspiracy. We're going to go deep dive into what conspiracy theory, where it actually came from, right? We're going to go into our Raise Your Vibe tip. Today, we're going to touch on the power of positivity. We're going to get into our health tip of the day, which is all about breathing, which is quite relevant at the moment, I would tend to believe. And our last but not least, our truth story. Today we're talking about censorship, Joff. So
very important stuff.
Let's get into conspiracy theory. So the term conspiracy theory, not many people actually know where this term actually came from. Where did it actually originate from? The CIA, mate. This came out right around the same time that JFK was assassinated. So right around 1967. So JFK was assassinated in 1963. So this term was instrumental in covering up the JFK assassination. So what we found, when we found this out, was during an investigative report done by the New York Times in 1976, and they managed to get their hands on a CIA dispatch. And during this dispatch was labeled Psych, which was short for Psychological Operations. So this document outlines how the CIA used the term conspiracy theory, conspiracy theorist, to silence those around this JFK assassination.
They basically revealed this information via the Freedom of Information Act. And so you've got to think about it for a second. So in 1963, JFK was assassinated. In 1967, this conspiracy term was invented. So there was 4 years there. So this is something that you've got to do your own research. I'm going to put some information below so you can have a look. You can make your own mind up. There was 4 years there where there was people questioning the narrative. So all of a sudden the CIA, they're just like, you know what, let's invent this thing, this term conspiracy theorist, just so they label anyone that questions the narrative a loony, basically.
That's it. Lyndon B. Johnson, who actually usurped President JFK and took his spot, he actually did the Warren Commission. So if you look into what the Warren Commission was, it was set in place by the president that came after JFK. And now this Warren Commission was pushed by the CIA to be the be-all and the end-all of the JFK assassination. And if you actually look through the dispatch and the detail from the CIA dispatch, this document it'll be in the links, it'll be in the notes below. You can actually, if you read through the entire document, it details how the CIA planned to use the elites, who they refer to as politicians and editors, to push this narrative and make sure this narrative becomes a reality to people, so people could not rise up and fight against the actual narrative that the Warren Commission put in place.
Crazy stuff. Like, it's absolutely amazing stuff, and it's honestly well worth your while to have a look at it. If you don't trust us, that's okay. Like, do your own research. I'm not expecting you to believe everything we say. I mean, you can, because we've got a lot of research behind us. We've been looking into this stuff for a long time, really trying to assist at the end of the day.
So the CIA, obviously, they've developed this means of control, a way to control the narrative, to control the population around probably one of the biggest ever conspiracy theories of all time, which was the assassination of JFK. So the next time you're going to use this term, just think about it. Do your own research on where this actual term came from before you start labeling people conspiracy theorists.
Yes.
That's all we're saying.
Well said, beautifully said. I think that's very important stuff. Do your own research, make your own mind up. Check it out, guys.
Absolutely. So let's move on, Joff, to Raise Our Vibe tip, the power of positivity.
Getting on a lighter note here as well, power of positivity. It's so important in this moment, you know, just being around loved ones and just putting a smile on their face. You know, being happy around loved ones is so important, especially if you've got kids, just to obviously assist them in this moment, just to obviously be as positive as you can, because everything is contagious. Energy is very, very contagious. If you're positive, it spreads positivity. If you're negative, it spreads negativity. So it's just one of those things, just awareness to think about it before you act, especially around friends and family, to spread the love, spread the good vibes.
Absolutely. I mean, that's one thing I like to do. I always like to walk into a room, be the most positive person in that room. Because if I can shine my light on other people in that room, they're all gonna vibe higher. They're all gonna come to the party with me and be in a positive mind frame, and we're gonna have a good time. You'll notice that when you're around people that are positive, that are happy. And I know right now during COVID, it's hard. It is tough to be that positive person, but someone's got to do it, Joff, you know? And if it has to be me, if it has to be you, why not? Why not, help others overcome these fears? Why not help others, become a more positive person.
That's it.
You know?
If you're one of the people that are massively positive, and you know you are, when you get into a room, and especially in this moment, good on you, respect, because it's people like us that we're needed in this moment. We need to raise the vibration of humanity because it's a tricky moment. So, you know, bravo to everyone, and to the others, it's okay. Like we're all learning, we're all growing, and let's just vibe as high as we can, guys.
Absolutely. That's something that we're hoping to do with the alternate news. It's a news that we're helping people get out there, and it's a positive news. It's a news of truth, a news that you can actually talk to your friends about and have a good time about it, instead of just the horrible stuff that you see every single day.
Crazy, man, crazy. But all right, well, getting into the next health tip of this week, we're talking about breathing, Mick, and it's such an important time to breathe. It's like the most amazing gift. Did you take a nice breath? Well done. It's such an amazing gift we all have access to, but we all take it for granted. Not all of us, but many of us take it for granted. It's something that, I don't know, conscious breathing was, when I introduced that into my life, I was just like, wow, this is actually insanely great for me. We're moving on to our truth story of the day as well, Mick. This is a big one. This is huge.
This is big, especially right now in this current climate that we find ourselves in. So we're talking about censorship, Joel. We're talking about why does censorship happen? Why are we not allowed to draw our own conclusions?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting that. I mean, especially for those that are watching this that are actually, adults. Everyone that's watching it hopefully has the ability to make their own mind up. They've made their way to this actual video. So at the end of the day, you've got, for me, freedom of speech, freedom of living, basically. Make up your own mind. Why censor something that you don't want to be seen? I remember when I was looking into a lot of these things a few years ago, every time I seen something that was censored, I was like, oh, it must have been good for them to take it down. It must have been good. So it's just very important to critically think, to have a mind of your own, and to make your own mind up, like obviously having people orchestrate the narrative. For me, it's not on, but hey, you do you. You do you, Mick. What are you thinking here?
Well, like you're saying about the narrative. So one of the narratives that is being pushed at the moment is disinformation and misleading articles, videos, or posts, anything of that nature. Whenever they get put on social media or YouTube or Twitter or whatever, they get taken down, banned, and then this blanket censorship thing comes up. Sorry, you can't look at that because we have decided for you that it is not actually the truth.
It's not the best for you.
And so basically that's people deciding for you, the people, for us, the people, that, you know what, no, you can't look at that. Yeah. And I, for one, I'd like to look at that. I for one, would like to make my own mind up.
Yeah, that's personally. You've got a brain, don't you?
I like to use my brain. I like to use my brain, and I like to assess whatever it is that is being censored from me and make my own decisions.
I think that sounds fair enough to me, if you ask me.
Well, that's just me, So, we've seen massive bans on Twitter. Even the President of the United States nearly got banned on Twitter.
Yeah, he did.
Some of his comments as well, which is just doesn't make any sense.
President of a country. There's a lot of deepness to this. You can do your own research. And if you continue to watch our Channel 1 alternate news, there'll be a lot of unmasking of different agendas and narratives. So stay with us. I highly suggest to stay with us, because we're all about we're just all about speaking the truth. At the end of the day, why else would we be we're doing this for free. We're not getting paid for this. We're doing this to spread wisdom and awareness. And obviously, as you can see, we're trying to help you raise your vibration, trying to help you with your health as well. So
well, that's it. We saw some massive bans on Twitter. A lot of the QAnon movement, which if you don't know what that is, do your own research into what the QAnon movement is. A lot of that has been taken down. We've seen thousands upon thousands of followers being taken from QAnon people. Anyone pushing this QAnon theory.
Actually, I want to chime in with a bit of QAnonness as well. It's got kind of brandished in the mainstream as like a cult or something, but if you really look into it, honestly, it's about freedom. It's about peace. It's about love. It's nothing to do with, I don't even know what they're putting in the news. We don't watch the news, but the other news. But at the end of the day, QAnon, if you do a little bit of research, it's all about peace and freedom. So just wanted to put that out there. Please continue.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love the QAnon movement. Once again, it's just a critical thinking. Yeah. We can make up our own minds in the end. So if you look into QAnon and have a look at it, make up your own mind about what it is, what it's trying to do. So We've seen that. We've seen even like what we said in episode 1, a great documentary that we highly suggest that you go out there and watch.
Please watch it.
out of shadows. Now this is shadow banned on YouTube. It was shadow banned literally after day 2 because it was over 20 million views or something crazy like that. So literally, to actually find this video, you can find it. We're going to put the link below, but to actually find it on YouTube, just try it. Type in out of shadows with the exact correct spelling. It won't come up. You need to type it in capital letters, and you need to type in right next to it in brackets official, and then it will come up, and only then will it come up. Why is that, Joff?
Well, even when it comes up, I don't think it's the first one that comes up either. No. It's like down there somewhere. It's interesting stuff. It's all about making your own mind up, and
all that we're trying to tell you guys to do. We're not telling you to do anything really. We're just asking you to purvey our information. Have a look at what we're giving you. Take it on board and do your own research. That's it. And then critically think. Think. Using your own mind about what's going on around you.
That's it. And please, share these videos as well. If you think that it can help someone just open their minds a little bit, it's what it's all about. We're just here to try to assist people in this moment.
And now it's time for our message of hope. So take it or leave it, guys. Joff, take us through what our message of hope is today.
All right. So obviously, we've mentioned a lot of it about this censorship, and we've got to think about it. Why are things being censored? And it's because of hope, and it's because of peace, and it's because of positivity. They love to censor the truth because a lot of it kind of goes against their agenda. So great times are coming. Sometimes you've got to read between the lines, and someone who actually I want to bring up is the QAnon movement, because if with the QAnon movement, it hasn't been censored because basically the Department of Defense in America basically sponsors the QAnon movement, and they're unstoppable basically, Nick.
Absolutely. I mean, the way the QAnon movement has put out information in a cryptic fashion that it needs to be deciphered, that way it can't be censored because there's nothing in there that is getting censored by these elites because it's literally slipping under the radar, and there's no reason for them to censor it. So if you do your own research, as we always say, and look into the QAnon movement, look into the messages that are getting out there, because that's the thing in the end, there's all these light workers out there at the moment that are getting their messages through. So all you have to do is do a little bit of research, and you'll find so many different light workers out there, just like ourselves, that are getting the message out. This message of hope is beaming through. You can only stop it for so long. You can only censor so much, but the message is still being received, guys, and the plan is still in action.
That's it. You can't stop what's coming. What's coming is inevitable. We just have to be patient. We've just got to be calm. We're nearly there. We're so close. Everyone's doing such an amazing job. And so basically, just to round up with the QAnon movement is just, I don't know what you've heard on the mainstream media, if there's anyone that's kind of questioning it, but if you do a little bit of research, QAnon's all about peace and love and freedom for humanity. That's it.
Absolutely right, Joe. Well, thank you so much, guys. We hope you've enjoyed our message of hope. And if you did enjoy this video, please give us a like, hit the subscribe. We want to reach this message out to as many people as we can. And a quick thank you and all our heartfelt gratitude to all the light workers out there that are spreading their message and speaking their truth. Thank you, guys. We really appreciate everything you're doing. As we say at Channel 1 Alternate News, always remember to stay positive.
Keep doing your own research, guys.
Thanks, guys. Ciao.